picture this. You're in a cafe in Bhopal,
Okay.
and it seems like just a normal day, July 22nd, 2020, but something terrible is about to happen.
Oh, wow.
A young couple's there hoping to fix their relationship, and they're meeting with the woman's ex.
Hmm.
Things get tense, and the conversation explodes into a huge argument.
Yeah.
Jealousy and possessiveness are just boiling over.
Mm-hmm.
Then suddenly you hear a gunshot. Everything erupts into chaos.
Right.
People are scrambling for safety, and we're left with just an awful tragedy.
Wow.
Welcome to CrimePod Castle's Twisted Love series.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Today we're going deep into the Bhopal Love Triangle shooting and asking ourselves, how can love turn into something so destructive?
Well, that's a question that's really haunted people forever.
Right.
And as we go through this case, we'll see how love obsession and violence all get mixed up.
Exactly. At the center of this story, we have three people, Karan Singh, Ritika Mehta, and Aakash Sharma. Their lives are connected by love and friendship, but it all ended in tragedy. So let's start by understanding their stories and how they all came together.
Yeah, I think to really understand what happened, we need to go back and look at their backgrounds. Each person had their own experiences, vulnerabilities, and desires that played a part.
Okay, so Karan was a 29-year-old software engineer. He was known for having a really intense personality and a deep capacity for love. When he met Ritika, a 27-year-old interior designer, it was like love at first sight. Their early romance was full of passion, but under the surface, a darker side started to show.
Yeah, we often see in these cases that what starts as strong affection can become possessiveness. The person's need to control and feel validated gets all tangled up with their love, and that creates a really toxic situation.
And that's what happened with Karan. He truly loved Ritika, but it became more and more possessive. He needed constant reassurance. He had trouble with her independence and felt threatened whenever she interacted with other people. This possessiveness, disguised as love, really started to suffocate their relationship.
We have to remember that possessiveness isn't real love. It's about power and control, taking away the other person's freedom and independence.
Right? Their relationship went from being a source of joy to a constant battle of arguments and emotional exhaustion. Eventually, Ritika realized how unhealthy it was and decided to end it. This separation, even though it was necessary, ended up triggering a series of terrible events.
Breakups are tough, especially when there are such strong emotions and intertwined lives. But for people like Karan who are possessive, the loss of control that comes with a breakup can be unbearable.
During that time apart, Ritika found comfort in reconnecting with Aakash. He was a 30-year-old banker and a childhood friend of hers.
Oh, wow.
They had a deep understanding and a really comforting familiarity, and a new romance blossomed. Aakash was kind and supportive. He gave Ritika a safe space away from the chaos of her previous relationship.
It makes sense that after going through the trauma of a possessive relationship, she would look for comfort and stability in a familiar connection. Akash represented safety, understanding, and a chance to heal.
But when Karan found out about Ritika's new relationship, he was overwhelmed with jealousy, anger, and this desperate need to get back what he thought was his. He just refused to accept that they were separated and clung to this belief that he could win her back.
That's when things get really dangerous. Rejection for someone who's possessive can be a huge blow to their ego and their sense of control. In Karan's case, this rejection triggered a dangerous obsession.
He started bombarding Ritika with messages, begging for another chance, declaring his undying love, and even making some veiled threats. He couldn't grasp the fact that she had moved on and was genuinely happy with someone else.
Yeah.
His obsession with Ritika consumed him, distorting his reality and leading him down a dangerous path.
It's important to understand that possessive people often lack empathy. They become so focused on their own wants and needs that they can't see the other person's feelings or respect their independence. In their minds, love becomes something they own, something to control, instead of a shared experience based on respect and understanding. So as his obsession got worse, Karan's actions became more and more erratic and concerning. He started stalking Ritika, showing up at her work, her favorite spots, just desperately trying to get her attention and convince her to come back to him.
Oh, wow.
But this constant pursuit only pushed her further away and made her more determined to move on with her life.
She must have been terrified.
Absolutely.
So Ritika tried to reason with him, explaining that their relationship was over and that he needed to respect her decision. But it was like talking to a wall. He just couldn't or wouldn't accept that she didn't love him anymore.
That inability to accept rejection is a real sign of possessive people. Their self-worth is so tied to the other person that when they leave, it's like they lose a part of themselves.
Right.
That can lead to this desperate and often dangerous need to get back control and recapture what they've lost.
So in a last attempt to maybe calm Karan down and get him to leave her alone, Ritika agreed to meet him at a café on that fateful day, July 22nd. Aakash went with her. He was worried about her safety but wanted to support her. They were hoping for some kind of peace, a chance to reason with Karan and make him understand that it was pointless to keep chasing her. But that meeting intended to bring closure tragically became the scene of a horrible act of violence.
Right.
The atmosphere in the cafe was so tense, Karan, driven by months of jealousy and resentment, was pleading with Ritika, trying to bring back their old love. He made promises, expressed remorse, even tried to guilt her into coming back to him. But it was all for nothing.
Yeah, in those moments you could feel Karan's desperation. He saw this as his last chance to save a relationship that he believed was still salvageable. But he couldn't see that his possessiveness, his refusal to respect Ritika's boundaries, had already destroyed their connection beyond repair.
And Ritika, calm but firm, told him again that she had moved on. She explained that she was happy with Aakash, that their relationship gave her the love, respect, and security she had always wanted it. Aakash, even though he was uncomfortable, was there to support her, giving her words of comfort and reassurance.
It's amazing how strong Ritika was in standing her ground and asserting her right to make her own choices.
I know, right?
She refused to be intimidated by Karan's emotional pleas. She knew her worth and wasn't going to settle for a relationship that wasn't right for her.
But Karan, blinded by his obsession, saw her words as a personal attack, proof that Aakash had stolen her from him. His anger that had been simmering beneath the surface finally boiled over.
This is where things take a really dark turn. Karan's twisted view of reality takes control.
Right.
He sees himself as the victim robbed of his love and Aakash as the villain who stole what was rightfully his.
Wow.
This victim mentality, combined with his possessiveness and lack of empathy, sets the stage for a tragic and irreversible act.
Unable to control his rage, Karan stormed out of the cafe, leaving Ritika and Aakash in shock and disbelief. They had hoped for a peaceful resolution, but his angry exit left them with an uneasy feeling, a sense that this wasn't over.
The tension must have been so thick. You know, that feeling of relief that the confrontation was over, but mixed with this lingering fear of what he might do next. It's a stark reminder that even seemingly small interactions in these situations can carry a lot of emotional weight and potential danger.
Exactly. And what Ritika and Aakash didn't know was that Karan, overwhelmed by rejection, jealousy, and rage, had reached his breaking point. Sure. He wasn't just leaving to cool off. He was going to get a weapon, a symbol of his twisted desire to regain control, to punish those he blamed for his pain.
This is where the story takes a chilling turn. The shift from emotional turmoil to planned violence is a terrifying reminder of what can happen when obsession goes unchecked and firearms are easily accessible.
Moments later, Karan came back to the cafe. His face was hard and determined. His desperation was gone, replaced by a chilling silence. His hands were gripping a gun. The sudden appearance of the weapon shocked everyone in the cafe, turning a tense conversation into a scene of pure terror. Everything felt like it was moving in slow motion as Karan raised the gun, his eyes fixed on Aakash. In that instant, the cafe went completely silent. You could feel this wave of fear wash over everyone.
It's like that moment when your instincts kick in and primal fear takes over, the sudden realization that something horrible is happening, that the world isn't safe anymore. Your mind can't really process the chaos and danger.
2 shots broke the silence, shattering any sense of normalcy. The sound of the gun echoed through the cafe, each shot a stark reminder of how fragile life is. Aakash, caught off guard, slumped forward, clutching his chest, his shirt stained with blood.
The sudden shift from arguing to physical violence is so typical in these cases. The attacker, driven by rage and a twisted sense of justice, acts impulsively, wanting to inflict pain and take control.
Ritika, in a moment of incredible bravery, threw herself in front of Aakash, desperately trying to shield him from the bullets. Her selfless act, a testament to her love and loyalty, put her right in the path of the gunfire.
It's a powerful example of love, the willingness to risk your own life to protect someone else. Even in the face of such danger, her instinct was to shield the person she cared for, to take the brunt of the violence directed at him.
Tragically, one of the bullets grazed her arm, leaving her with searing pain and a permanent reminder of that horrific day. Her brave act, while not able to save Aakash, gave others in the cafe precious seconds to react.
In moments of chaos like that, people react in different ways. Some freeze up, completely overwhelmed by fear, while others, fueled by adrenaline and a need to survive, jump into action.
And in this case, chaos erupted as people scrambled for cover, their screams filling the cafe. Tables were overturned, cups shattered, and the smell of gunpowder hung in the air, a grim reminder of the violence.
It's a scene of pure chaos and terror. That sudden shift from ordinary to violent has a ripple effect impacting everyone who is there. The trauma of witnessing something like that, the fear and vulnerability it creates, can have lasting consequences.
But amidst the chaos, some brave individuals, ignoring their own fear, tackled Karan to the ground, stopping him from firing any more shots. They wrestled the gun away from him, their actions a testament to human courage and compassion, even in the darkest of times.
It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of extreme violence, humanity can prevail. Those people risk their own safety to subdue the attacker, showing incredible courage and a deep sense of responsibility for the well-being of others.
The police arrived quickly, sirens blaring their presence, a stark contrast to the usual sounds of Bhopal Karan. Karan was arrested and taken into custody, his face a mix of shock and this unsettling detachment.
The arrival of law enforcement often marks a turning point. The immediate danger is over, but the process of seeking justice, of understanding what happened and holding the perpetrator accountable, that's just beginning.
Sadly, Aakash died from his injuries. His life, so full of promise, was cut short by senseless violence. His death left a hole in the lives of his family, friends, and the community, a void that could never be filled.
The aftermath of something like this is often filled with intense grief, anger, and the need for answers. Losing a loved one in such a violent and unexpected way leaves a deep wound, a constant reminder of how fragile life is and the destructive power of unchecked rage.
Ritika, physically injured and emotionally devastated, was rushed to the hospital. She had witnessed the brutal murder of the man she loved, a man who had given her comfort and a chance at happiness. The trauma of that day would forever change her life, leaving scars both visible and invisible.
The path to healing after such a traumatic event is often long and difficult. The physical wounds might heal, but the emotional and psychological scars can linger, affecting relationships, their sense of safety, and their overall well-being.
The Bhopal Love Triangle shooting shocked the community and beyond. It served as a stark reminder of the dark side of human emotions and the devastating consequences of unchecked possessiveness and rage. It sparked conversations about the warning signs of toxic relationships, the importance of mental health awareness, and the need for stricter gun control measures.
It's a cautionary tale reminding us that we need to be aware of the signs of possessiveness and controlling behavior. We need to talk openly about mental health issues and encourage people to seek help when they need it.
As we think about this deeply disturbing case, let's remember Aakash, whose life was tragically cut short, and offer our support and empathy to Ritika as she walks the long and difficult road to recovery. Let's also acknowledge the courage of those who intervened, preventing further tragedy, and the first responders who came to the scene caring for the injured and restoring order amidst the chaos.
This case is a somber reminder that love, when twisted by possessiveness and anger, can have terrible consequences. Let's all work towards building healthy relationships based on respect, trust, and open communication. And remember, asking for help when you're struggling emotionally is a sign of strength, not weakness.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the Bhopal Love Triangle shooting. We hope this episode has helped you understand the complexities of human emotions and the importance of recognizing the red flags of toxic relationships. If you or someone you know is experiencing relationship violence or struggling with mental health issues, please reach out for help. There are resources available. You don't have to go through this alone. And as always, thank you for joining us on this exploration of the dark side of human nature. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to CrimePod Castle and our YouTube channel for more deep dives into intriguing and thought-provoking cases. We appreciate your support and look forward to uncovering more twisted tales with you in the future.